Welcome everybody back to the Figure Kit Garage, fellow resin heads and kit builders. Brent Krug with another out-of-the-box review. The kit that you see in front of you on the table is a kit that I have been waiting for quite some time, and once it arrived today, I was blown away by the sculpt, the cast, and everything about this. This is a 1/4 scale bust in 11 pieces, sculpted by Jeff Yagher and produced by Mike Calvert over at Typhon Studios. And this is a tribute bust to, I guess you could call her the first lady of movie monster special effects, Millicent Patrick. It is titled Millicent Patrick, Creature from the Black Lagoon. This bust was first announced September 10th of 2021, and the list opened up for it on December 16th of last year as well. And this kit is a long time coming. The history of Millicent Patrick and her creation of one of the most famous movie monsters of all time, up until 3 years ago, her story was not very well known. And Mike Calvert and Jeff Yagher teamed up to create what is possibly one of the best tribute busts that could be done of this lady. And her story, just by itself, she was a trailblazer, to say the least. And sadly, the creation for which she should have been most known well for, she never got the proper credit she deserved. And sadly, she would never get to see that credit be given to her. But we will go over that story as we go through these pieces. And this is an absolutely beautiful sculpt by Jeff, capturing Millicent Patrick, painting on the creature that she created. And this is a limited edition kit of 150 pieces. I was lucky enough to get number 25. Beautiful certificate of authenticity. The Rita ship's log. Millicent Patrick resin tribute model kit. Signed by Mike and by Jeff. And this came with a lot of amazing extras, as is typical of a Typhon Studios kit. And I will show those to you after we get through the review. And we're going to start off with this base. And this base is absolutely magnificent in the way it was conceived. This is technically a half bust, with part of the base being included. And as you can see, this is the cave where the creature dwelled, that has been sculpted into part of her lab coat that she would wear while working behind the scenes in the special effects department. And Jeff really got very creative melding the two together. A little bit of texture on the back side of that coat. This, I got to admit, this is one of the most original bust bases you could ever see. And to go along with that, the front part of her dress also contains the upper part of the cave. So as you fit the skirt in, I'm not going to be able to do a full test fit on this, but you can see it forms the cave where the creature dwells. Really, really unique. Go to the right arm, and this bust depicts her painting her creature. So Jeff really pulled out all the stops on this one to not only render Millicent Patrick in a proper way, but captured her in probably one of the best photos that you could ever find on Google search of her actually working on the creature. So he adapted it very well. There is, from what I've seen, only one tiny little mole line at the back of her hair. Other than that, the cleanup on this piece is absolutely zero. Mike's prep on this from the casting process is absolutely spot on, flawless. The right hand, which The indentation here and here will hold the brush that she will use to paint the creature with. And there have been several buildups of this already by Saul Alvarez, and once this bust is painted, it looks absolutely fantastic. The nameplate, which will attach to the side, and I'll show you where this goes, proudly displays her name and the creature that she created. And then the forward part of the left arm, this will have to be drilled and pinned, as will the left hand, which, as I will show you, there is no way in the world I'm trusting this to straight super glue. I wouldn't even trust this to two-part epoxy by any means. The fossilized hand that is seen at the very beginning of the film, again, the attention to detail sculpted by Jeff is absolutely perfect. This is next to the Karloff Pierce kit that Typhon produced. This is an absolute beautiful piece. I just can't come up with any more words than I already have. And here we finally have the upper body in the portrait of the lovely Millicent Patrick herself. String of pearls and pearl earrings. Absolutely flawless sculpt, and the casting captured every little detail in that necklace and those earrings, the top of her lab coat and her blouse. Keyed properly to fit into the base. And as usual, Jeff Yagher's hair sculpt is beyond perfect. And as I said, there's a little... Get her back into focus here. There we go. A little bitty mold line right here at the bottom, but it's so minimal I could probably get away without even touching it. And she will sit like so, and I'll tilt the camera up. That is how she will sit when completed. It's just an amazing concept and something that's never been done before. I didn't ever think that I would see anything like this in this hobby ever, and leave it to Mike Calvert and his co-conspirator Brian Waters over at Typhon Studios to come up with something that just absolutely blows away anything that could have ever been done for this. And I'll readjust the camera one last time. And this is the head of the creature that she is working on. And Jeff's sculpting on this is perfect. The attention to detail, and yes, it is the creature without eyes. Jeff's sculpt on this is just absolutely magnificent. The casting is beyond flawless. All the raised bump detail, the scales, the gills, everything. This is just absolutely wonderful. And her right hand, as I said, is molded into the head, so when you attach the left arm, it will sit. This camera focus again. Will sit just like this. And I'll give you kind of an idea how this will fit. Well, she doesn't fall apart on me. Then readjust it. We'll go together just like so. So this is a beautiful tribute to a lady, and their little nameplate will go just like so. Tilt that down. The nameplate will attach right there off to the side. This is a beautiful tribute to a lady who wasn't just a creature maker. Millicent Patrick, whose birth name was Mildred Elizabeth Fulvia de Rossi, born in El Paso, Texas, and moved with her family to California, studied at the Chouinard Art Institute for 3 years in illustration and drawing, and received 3 scholarships based on her talent. So that right there tells you a lot about where she was headed. She began working in 1939 at Walt Disney Studios in the all-female ink and paint department. That right there gives credit to her artistic ability. And she was moved in 1940 to the animation and effects department to become one of the first female animators at Walt Disney Studios. Her work as a color animator in 4 of the sequences in the film Fantasia is what she is credited for. She created the animated creature, the Chernabog, for the sequence Night on Bald Mountain. And she also worked on the film Dumbo before she left Universal Studios in 1941. I believe I said Universal. She left Disney Studios in 1941. Shortly after she left Walt Disney Studios, she began modeling in trade shows and worked as a promotional model. And after meeting William Hawks, she began working behind the scenes with Bud Westmore after she showed him some of her drawings and sketches. And as Bud Westmore was the head of the Universal makeup department at the time, she became the first woman to work in a special effects makeup department and is credited for multiple contributions. And what she has done, some I've heard of, some I've never heard of. This is just an unbelievable list. She is credited for contributing to the pirate faces in the film Against All Flags, the makeup for Jack Palance in the movie Sign of the Pagan, designs for the globs for the film It Came from Outer Space, the makeup for Mr. Hyde and Abbott Costello Meet Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, and the Metaluna mutant from This Island Earth. And she was the mask maker for the film The Mole People. This lady, by 1953, had racked up one hell of an impressive resume for creature making and design. Not to mention her artistic ability with Walt Disney Studios. Her resume, that was a friggin' stamp right there. I mean, you can't get any better than that. But it did. In 1953, she designed the Gill-Man, which would become one of the most sensational monster suits of all time for Universal for the 1954 black and white 3D film The Creature from the Black Lagoon. During the promotion of the film, she was sent on a press tour that was called The Beauty Who Created the Beast to discuss the creation of the creature. Sadly, the title of this promotional press tour was changed by Bud Westmore to The Beauty Who Lives with the Beast. And that was done to avoid giving Millicent Patrick credit as the creature's creator. Which, that kind of snub, I guess back in the day that, the jealousy of somebody like Bud Westmore who had replaced Jack Pierce as the head of the makeup department for Universal Studios, having a lady step in and create such an iconic creature, tough pill to swallow. After she returned to Los Angeles from the press tour, she was informed that she no longer worked for Universal Studios. And she was let go over Westmore's jealousy over her creating the Gill-Man, which, much in the same way as Jack Pierce was let go with absolutely no fanfare, basically whatsoever, this lady was just unceremoniously kicked to the curb. After everything that she had done for Universal Studios in the special effects makeup department, she was unceremoniously sent packing. After she was let go from Universal, she never worked behind the scenes ever again. and she went on to act in really small roles in movies. The creation of the Gill-Man was eventually credited to Bud Westmore until research, most notably the 2019 book The Lady from the Black Lagoon by Mallory O'Meara, revealed her to be the designer. I have this book on Audible, and I have been listening to it, and thus far it's been a fascinating listen. If you can find a copy of the book or you have Audible, I suggest you get it because thus far it's been worth it. Forrest J. Ackerman did an 8-page article in the 1970s documenting her work on The Creature from the Black Lagoon, as well as her other monster films in Famous Monsters magazine. Forrest J. Ackerman knew her and wanted her to get the proper credit that she deserved. Unfortunately, Millicent Patrick would never, ever get to see the credit that she had so rightfully earned being given to her and acknowledged by many people around the world and in the Hollywood community. She passed away on February 24th, 1998, at the age of 82. Another talent that just shoved by the wayside and damn near all but forgotten. Until now, thanks to Mike Calvert and everybody and Brian Waters over at Typhon Studios and sculptor Jeff Yagher for coming up with a proper tribute to a lady that deserved it more than anything. And this piece was so well worth the price, it was crazy. The bonuses that came with this were so worth it. If I remember correctly, this was altogether it was $287, just a little right around $290 altogether. Mike shipped this to me on May 16th, and it arrived yesterday. So 4 days from where Mike lives over in the UK to here in Southern California. So Mike, my hat's off to you for getting this to me as fast as you did. I understand you had problems with getting proper amounts of resin, a few health issues and things like that. You stuck with it and you got it to me, and as you did with everybody else. So a big, big congratulations and shout out to Mike Calvert and Brian Waters. As well, Jeff Yagher. I don't know how in the world you could outdo this. Honestly, I don't think I want to know. I'll just wait till it happens. But, as always, with Mike Calvert and Typhon Studios, as you have seen with the Karloff Pierce tribute, the Imhotep bust, as well as the McCready from Gill-Man Productions, Mike Calvert likes to throw in little bonuses. And this is no exception. He did include a nice little thank you and a parts list. And this is you get an experience with Mike Calvert's kits. I can say that. This is it's not a reproduction of Millicent Patrick's Disney Studios ID card. It's what he thought it would have looked like. He was not able to locate an actual copy of it. Mildred E. Rossi, ink and paint, January 9th, 1939. Walt Disney Productions. And on the back, photo of the lovely lady herself. Very nice. Really nicely done by Mike. And also, as Jack Pierce had one, Millicent's also part of Team Monster. Another nice baseball card. Really, really sweet. That's absolutely wonderful. And 2 postcards. Sorry about the glare. Creature from the Black Lagoon. Nice little Typhon Studios postcard. I also got a Typhon Studios sticker. It's still in the little envelope. And one of the little bonus features that was added in, I'll take him out of the packaging here in a minute. Everybody remembers Tops or Bob's, depending on where you lived in the United States, big boy restaurants. Well, a little offbeat creation. Fresh Fish Burgers, Gilboy Restaurants, open 24 hours. Kind of a unique little design. Cute as a button. And I'm going to go ahead and take him out of his packaging. And here him is, the Gilboy. This was included with the first 25 kits. Mike, I believe Mike still does have these available for sale, but he threw mine in with the purchase of the Millicent Patrick bust. He's an absolute cutie. How can you not love that face? And then have to include his premium fish burger. Really unique. Make sure I got that on there right. No, it's not going to hold on. Darn you. No, let's hold them on there like that. I guess inside it must be right. Even though that's Steak and Shake, I just couldn't help it. One of the other bonuses that came with this, and sorry about the camera bump. This is the box art for the Millicent Patrick kit. This piece was painted by David DeCina. I hope I said his name right. If not, I apologize. But this is an absolutely beautiful piece of work. There she is, painting the creature's head. This is amazing. And it came with a high quality signed and numbered art print by artist Dave Warren. And if I knew about this, I completely forgot about it. This is the artwork that Dave Warren did, that he included with this piece. Absolutely amazing artwork. Number 25 out of 150. That is so worth framing. It is ridiculous. So a very big thank you to artist Dave Warren and Mike Calvert as well for including this. I will find a proper frame for it. You can be guaranteed of that. Again, this is an absolutely wonderful tribute to an all but forgotten lady. Very big thanks to Mallory O'Meara, who did discover her and got it back out there that she did, in fact, create the creature from the Black Lagoon. But most of all, many thanks to Mike Calvert, Brian Waters, and Jeff Yagher for putting together such a wonderful tribute to a lady that now has finally gotten her name out there where it deserved to be. And it figures it's not going to hold together. That's okay. I'll drill and pin this piece for sure. On the heels of this review, I want to say thank you to everybody that has subscribed and that has kept the Figure Kit Garage going. We're up to 430 subscribers, 70 away from 500. Let's keep it going. I appreciate every single one of you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. I hope everybody enjoys the rest of their weekend. I know Louisville Wonderfest is coming up within the next, gee whiz, 2.5 weeks. So I hope everybody that is going, I wish I was going to be there. Unfortunately, I'm not. But I hope you guys have a wonderful time. Mike, congratulations on this. You definitely, you picked the right subject, and you and Jeff got it done the right way. For this review of Millicent Patrick, Creature from the Black Lagoon, 1/4 scale tribute bust, sculpted by Jeff Yagher and produced by Mike Calvert and Brian Waters of Typhon Studios. This has been the Figure Kit Garage. Everybody stay happy, stay healthy, stay safe. Build a kit.